Pranic healing, inner peace, better relationships, spiritual connection, health, balance, harmony, joy, love. Welcome to the podcast of How Pranic Healing Changed My Life. I'm your host, Nicole Fouche, and this podcast shares the many benefits of pranic healing and how people's lives have changed for the better after becoming involved in this revolutionary healing modality. We will share testimonials from people who have experienced the multiple benefits of pranic healing and how they have integrated the teachings into their lives. This relaxed platform shares the raw, authentic, heartfelt stories and the miracles that have unfolded. I hope these stories inspire you. So welcome to the podcast, How Pranic Healing Changed My Life. And I'm so excited to introduce everybody to Tara. I've known Tara for a couple of years now, and her progress and journey in pranic healing has just been phenomenal. Enough to share her story with us on this podcast. So welcome, Tara. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Nicole. It's an honor to be here with you.
Thank you so much. So, Tara, when exactly did you start pranic healing? I can't actually remember. It's been a while, but just share how you started. What drew you to pranic healing? What were you looking for? What did you find?
So it was in November of 2019, and it was the second person that I met that said, you should really try pranic healing. So I took that message and I went. From the time I had started a little bit of meditation by myself, probably for about 9 months. So my father got me started on the spiritual journey, and I've been reading lots of spiritual books, and I could sit still for a long time, but I was having a hard time finding that stillness in the mind. And I had a lot of grief. So I had lost both my parents in a 4.5 year period. And probably for about 8 years, I didn't cry. I had closed down. I was my way of protecting my heart, which kept me from feeling the grief, but it also blocked off the other emotions of the heart. I wasn't feeling empathy and compassion and joy, and I was pretty numb. And so I went and I had my first healing session with you, November of 2019. And I felt like the weight of the world had lifted off my shoulders. I could feel again. I cried, but it was like a gentle release. It wasn't a ugly type of sob, but just finally allowed myself to feel and to let those tears fall. And then from there, I had a couple more healing sessions with you. And then in January, I took the first pranic healing course.
That's amazing. I remember that so clearly now. And I think it's so important for people to realize grief is just another emotion. And it's important to honor and value that grief process. But often, a lot of people just get caught up, we're wives, we're mothers, we're working, we're doing stuff, we don't have time for that grief, but it literally can be sitting in the system. And it's so important to be able to release those emotions and work through them, but work through them in a safe and gentle way, and really work through that process, because it's such a vital process. And I often say to a lot of people, rather out than in, because when we're holding these emotions, you already tapped onto a few of them where you had shut off emotionally from the rest of the world. And looking long term at that, in terms of relationships and even just your physical, mental, and emotional health, that is going to have such a huge impact if you don't allow that stuff out. And I know a lot of people, when they're going through grief, almost feel like they've got this heaviness on their chest. And when you said the weight of the world felt like it had been released from your system, a lot of that heaviness people feel when they're grieving is actually the weight of that grief. It has a weight. It's a tangible thing that people can feel. So that was one aspect of what got you there. Share just some of I'm just going to throw it out there. Some of the miracles that have happened since 2019, you got in just before COVID, and a lot of people have shared, thank goodness we had the tools of pranic healing through COVID, because it just gave us coping strategies. It kept us mentally and emotionally in check. We were able to heal ourselves, heal others. But what are some of the amazing things that have happened over the last few years now that you've been involved in pranic healing?
Yes, you are exactly right. So I started in the perfect time. It was January of 2020. So it allowed me to just go through the entire pandemic with ease. And so the first week, I started my yoga teacher training. And so I was learning both of them at the same time. And when everybody was talking about, oh, everything's getting shut down, and I was at the Lotus Pond where I teach yoga now, and I was like, what shut down? What are you talking about? And when I drove down by Publix, I was like, what's going on? You know, is there like a big sale going on? And then the whole toilet paper frenzy and everything. But it was nice to be in a space where everything was okay. You know, I had the tools then to go through it with peace and calm, and did everything that I normally did with the kids, spending time in nature, enjoying life. I got to really see how much my energy affects the energy of those around me. So that first healing session that I had with you, my son was sick, and I asked you if you would do a healing session on him. But I love and I respect your answer was, why don't you go home and see how your energy affects him? I think it's going to help him to feel better. And it was like miraculous how he just completely got better right away, just from the energy shift.
I love that. And I just got the chills again as you were sharing that, because we are so energetically connected to our children. And sometimes I don't think a lot of us realize just how energetically connected to our children we are. And when we're not in a good space and we're working through our stuff, through those energy connections, it's affecting our children. But the same is true when you start doing the work on yourself and working through your stuff. It's actually going to have an impact on your children and your family as well. And our teacher in pranic healing, Master Choa Koksui, his life mission was to have one pranic healer per family, because he had the vision that if we have one pranic healer per family, we will have a healthy family unit, we'll have a healthy community, a healthy society, a healthy planet, good earth, good air, good water, good people. And that simple statement is so profound, because even just in your little bubble of a life, you doing the work, you getting involved in pranic healing, you've already seen the spillover into your family and now into your community. And I think that's what really drives me to spread the teachings of pranic healing, because you literally get to witness firsthand how people's lives are unfolding and just becoming so much better and so much more empowered. People following their divine path, their divine plan, their soul purpose, becoming more energized, more healthy, more vital, full of vital energy. It's just so fantastic. So Tara, in your few years now of pranic healing, from where you started to where you are now, what are you doing now with your pranic healing, with your yoga? Such a beautiful compliment to be doing both together.
Absolutely. And it's completely transformed my life in the most unexpected and the most amazing ways.
Tell me.
So when I took the first pranic healing course, I did not expect to be a healer at all. I really just wanted to learn the tools to heal myself, to heal my family. And same thing with yoga. I never ever expected that I would teach yoga. I just wanted to deepen my meditation and really get to know myself on a deeper level. I was kind of always lost and confused in life, like always wanting to find the light within myself and know myself on a deeper layer. So in my speech class in college, I literally broke out in hives. Like it was like maybe 20 students in the class, not a lot of people. And at the end, my teacher said, "Does that always happen?" And I looked down and I had hives on my chest. So I never in a million years expected that I would teach yoga. But through the process, through both pranic healing and yoga, I learned so much confidence, so much self-love for myself. I've learned to, to know myself on such a deep, deep layer. And then I wanted to teach others the peace that I have found and help and hold space for other people so that they could heal as well.
So resonate with that, because one thing a lot of people don't know about me, I had a massive, massive fear of public speaking. And as you were saying that, I was like, oh my gosh, yes. 20 years ago, you put me in front of more than 5 people. I didn't break out in hives, but I literally felt like I was going to choke. And it was one of those things that just through pranic healing and working through some of those fears and insecurities and, that self-expression and the passion that I have for pranic healing, that just superseded all my personal fears and worries about talking in public. Because when you get to witness the changes in people, your stuff is just so small in comparison to, what, if I just shared this with somebody, this is how their life could change. And that just pushed me through those fear boundaries. And now, my job is literally like teaching people. And if you had said that 20 years ago, I would have been like, oh my gosh, there's no ways I'm going to be talking, never mind on a podcast platform in front of however many people. And those are just some of the surprising things where, as I said, it was just something I'd gotten used to. And then suddenly I'm like, wow, that's not there anymore. And as I look back on my life of things that used to bother me and trigger me, they're just not there. And that is the thing that I love about pranic healing. I often describe it to clients. It's very subtle but profound. And the changes come in very gently and very naturally. And suddenly it's been a year or it's been 2 years, and you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I've like let all that stuff go. And this is who I am now, and I'm blossoming and I'm enjoying my life and I'm living my soul purpose. And that's such a beautiful thing to witness. And I know you've seen it with the clients that you're working with now and the students that you're introducing, and you're now stepping into the world of becoming a pranic healing trainer. And that's so fantastic. So tell me a little bit more about that. What inspired that for you?
Yes. So I've always known that I want to do, even from as a child, I would always say, I want to help people, but I don't know what I want to do. And so it's been amazing that now I finally know I found my dharma, my soul's purpose, my calling to help spread these teachings of pranic healing and yoga. And I've had so many miraculous healings. I've had just recently a client that has lupus. She's been suffering from chronic pain for 16 years. And just one healing session, she woke up and the next 3 or 4 days, she had zero pain. She said it was the most amazing experience. And so to
That's so
make,
amazing.
I'm continuing those healings with her and getting to doing chronic psychotherapy, getting to the thought forms, the um, the emotions, and helping her to release those gently. And she was having a hard time sleeping, and I did a session for her yesterday, and she woke up and she said, I have the best night of sleep of my entire life. So it's been very incredible. In my first cancer patient that I worked on by myself, same thing. He had a tumor that was so big that the surgeon couldn't operate on it. And so just went forward with the pranic healing. And then eventually he was able to remove the tumor, and now he's completely cancer free.
That is incredible. And what the thing that I love is you've been in pranic healing literally like for 3 years. No special gifts, no special talents apart from just being a divinely beautiful person inside and out. But that's the thing I love about pranic healing is anybody can do it. If there's a willingness and a passion to do it, you can learn how to do pranic healing and you can start creating miracles in your life. And just with what Tara shared, somebody with lupus that is just in debilitating pain every day, to be able to naturally ease that from somebody, you've changed that person's life forever. Somebody who's not able to sleep, like sleep deprivation is a form of torture. I know what I'm like when I haven't had enough sleep. And being able to create those changes in the most beautiful, natural, healing way, that is what this podcast is about, is to let you know that if you're suffering And it doesn't matter if literally everybody said, listen, there's nothing we can do for you. I ask you just to give pranic healing a try. Find a center near you. Find a pranic healer near you. If you can't find somebody nearby, we offer virtual sessions. That's the other thing I love about pranic healing, and especially during COVID, we're able to work at a distance. So when the world shut down, we were busier than we've ever been because we were able to heal people remotely. So that's my message for you, is if you're suffering, it doesn't matter where you are, seek out a pranic healer, get that help, because pranic healing is literally changing people's lives every minute of every day. So Tara, if you had a message for somebody that was listening and they were divinely guided to listen to your podcast and get that voice of inspiration, what would you share with that specific person?
Every single thing that you need, you hold within yourself. Every bit of healing is self-healing, except the tools of pranic healing help it accelerate that natural, innate sense of healing. Yeah, so give pranic healing a try and you will be amazed, I promise you.
I love that. I love that. All of us have the innate ability to heal ourselves. I love that. And it's true. Thank you, Tara. It was wonderful sharing your message and sharing your light with everybody. If you're in the Tampa area, if you're needing to do some yoga or wanting some pranic healing with Tara, please reach out. We're here to help you. Thank you so much, Tara.
Thank you.